Good morning, all you Blue Blur Sonic fans out there. It's that time again of the year where we celebrate the fact that we were born out of a Sonic Stadium message boards and showing our Sonic roots by honoring what else? Sonic Month, the birth month of our favorite blue hedgehog here. But there's one thing I've also noticed. It's also time for us to commentate on a new show after we dealt with the likes of Agent Carter for the four of us, and for the Terrific Free, we have finished up Twilight of the Gods. So, what better way to tackle a Sonic show than starting off with the first season this month of Netflix's own Sonic Prime?
Yeah.
It's Sonic, but in Canada.
And it's in Prime. Whatever that. Hang on, wait. It's called Sonic Prime, yet
But
it's not on
Netflix,
Amazon
so
Prime.
I'm getting mixed messages already. I haven't even started.
So yeah, basically, this was around the time where the Sonic series was getting back on the up and up, essentially. The games were returning well, the movies were doing good, so they figured, what else? Let's add to that momentum by making a show. Done by Wild Brain and Man of Action, of all the people to choose. Now, let's be fair. Man of Action have done good. They did stuff like Ben 10 back in the day. That said, chances are if you're more familiar with Man of Action nowadays, you'll know that they're kind of infamous for doing stuff like the Mega Man Fully Charged show, essentially. What about Sonic Prime itself? Where does that fall on the spectrum? From what I can recall, Sonic Prime was regarded as one of their better shows. That being said, I do recall word of mouth being that, it was doing good until it got a little wonky with the third season. Mind you, it's been ages since I saw this, so I'll be relatively fresh to this. I recall it being mostly good, not amazing. Did anyone else here watch this prior?
I saw the first episode.
I only skimmed a few of scenes from this first season as a whole.
I've seen like a couple of episodes and heard a little bit from when Alice was watching it.
All I know is that the show is probably the most Canadian this Sonic series has ever been. Because one thing that did catch some people off guard is that none of the game actors are in this show.
Instead, it's all from a Canadian school of voice actors, including
some of which
veterans,
are famous. Yeah, some veterans, some MLP veterans, I'm not kidding, and the second ever black actor to voice Sonic, Devin Mack.
So let's see how they fare, shall we?
Yeah, alright. So, assuming you're watching this via Netflix, unless you're watching like the TV rips from when the show finally came over to Nickelodeon, start where else? At the Netflix logo.
Classic
in
Tutu.
In 3, 2, 1, click. It's always fun to imagine whoever came up with that sound effect.
We already talked about this when we did the Asterix stuff, Jova, which conveniently you didn't
Green Hill Zone.
Oh no!
So yes, we start where the movie started, Green Hill Zone, which establishes rings apparently just float around there. Hey, Big.
Right off the bat, the animation is interesting. The art style that it shows is something that you can tell that it's not too expensive, but manages to get the character design to a T.
Everyone looks pretty good.
Green Hill Zone's theme sounds a lot different than I remember.
And yes, Eggman is voiced by Vegeta himself, Brian Drummond.
Here's my boy.
Yeah, Shadow's alright, I guess.
I'm a bit iffy on the voice cast, but I will say this, Devin Mack is definitely great in this.
I think Brian Drummond as Eggman is just fine, which makes me say, why can't we can we just, get him permanently as him instead of Mike Pollock at this point? Pretty please.
I feel like we're gonna have to wait.
That would be so nice.
I feel like we're gonna have to wait for a huge generational shift, or Mike Pollock's truly going to have to screw the pooch to the point where Sega can't just plug their fingers up their ears about it.
And Rouge's
It's just
VA too, while we're at it.
Yeah, speaking of which, let me check who she's voiced by in this. Kazumi Evans, which, again, the cast in general, I think they're fine. Sonic is the one that sounds the most different, but I have to say, I prefer him over Roger Craig to me, if I will let. It's not still on the level of Jason Griffith to me, but I argue it's a good alternative.
Jason Griffith was your favorite for Sonic, huh?
Yes, sir. I prefer Sonic when he's, emphasizing how stupid he technically is as a character.
It's a bit hard for me to overlook his early days game-wise as Sonic, to be honest.
Well, okay, to be fair, almost no one had their best start with that. They all got much better with it.
Oh,
Also,
it's the Egg
Eggman's
Dragoon.
got a... Well, yeah, it's the Egg Dragoon with aspects of Burn Bot, of all things, from Sonic Boom.
And
Of course.
bit late saying that now, isn't it, Tails?
Yeah, I
Also,
would also
And
say
everybody.
I'm also fine with Knuckles VA in this.
Also, for all you MLP fans out there, that is indeed Ashley Ball playing Tails. Yes, we finally got Rainbow Dash into a Sonic series officially.
So everyone's dead already.
Oh, that's the end of Sonic Prime. It's
As a
just
proof
as it
of
began.
concept, it's pretty neat.
So the moral of the story is, don't shatter rainbow crystals. You never know when that might split your world into different dimensions.
So let me get this straight. Oh wow, that's the Beijing drone show, I guess. Thanks, Tails.
Maybe those chili dogs were laced with something.
I also love that in
Yeah.
order to have
Silver?
Rouge stay with the good guys team, they had to give her a new suit that covers her up mostly. Like, I don't particularly care, but I found it hilarious nonetheless.
So Amy in the show is voiced by Shannon Shan Kent, who was the singing voice of Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. She also portrayed a waitress in the 2020 live-action film.
I think she's also the speaking voice for Fluttershy.
I think it's because that film was filmed in Canada, I think.
I'm pretty sure Fluttershy's speaking voice is the same as Pinkie Pie's speaking voice. I think that's Andrea Romano.
Because I know there's some overlap between Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. I couldn't remember where it was.
Also,
While we're reading the show, how
voice.
many times can we nearly kill Sonic?
never enough.
Well,
It's-
also, pay attention to the shoes. Sonic's outfits kind of change a bit with each realm we go to.
Yeah, I can see that he's having some level of, not magnetic, but something happening to his G's. So let me get this straight. The hero, trying to have a villain stop using a magical crystal and shattering in the process, allows, in this case him, for Sonic to go through alternate dimension compared to his. Was someone, exchanging no Insomniac around this time? Because this is very strikingly similar to the premise for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, who came around the same time as Season 1.
Wow. Well, hey, Big Red Button did work on a Sonic game, and they were part of some Insomniac folk.
Yes, I know that, having Multiversal Crisis story is the current in for, non-comic book media these days, so, it's more of a case of, hi, Big, where they wanted probably to do this, but it's a hell of a coincidence.
Sonic, are you implying that your whole world is nothing but forests and palm trees?
Well, remember, Sonic has often been about nature versus technology, essentially.
Yeah.
Mind you...
Okay. Nature versus technology, but nature's got a bit of technology in it too.
Well, that's because the Chaos Emeralds have been retconned to be more,
Well, I was more referring to anything that comes from Tails.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I guess John was referring to the first game as a whole. Huh.
That's weird. I will say this also, this is definitely one of Man of Action's better animated shows, not just with the character models, but also the action when they are really able to do the action is pretty good.
I don't think Man of Action are the. I don't think Man of Action are an animation studio exactly. They're the writing team.
I guess to be fair, it was Wild Brain Studios that did the animation.
So for Sonic, this is the pratfall dimension where he just has a constant game of equilibrium.
You know the drill. Usually we gotta show off the heroes struggling at first before they get used
no,
to
Joba,
things.
we had the badniks with the drills before this scene.
Okay. I do like the music as well for this show.
Let me see, who was the composer for this? Okay, the theme composer are Stefan Andrews and Mike Shields. As for actual composing for each episode, I'm not seeing. I probably should look more into it.
Didn't you pay attention earlier? They said New York City.
Sonic paying attention to him perished the thought.
And
The neat little throwback to Sonic Adventure.
that sentence it makes it sound like Tails took over the world.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that. Like, no Sonic.
It's funny you mentioned that, but you'll see much, much later.
Yeah, he got fed up. Well, what would Tails have to be mad about? He wants to take over the world.
Yes, he has seen too many Dorkly sketches where Sonic beats him up and he got pissed off. I wouldn't mind him. You know, I understand.
Adam Narada was an interesting choice for Knuckles. As far as I can tell, he doesn't really have too much of a resume elsewhere.
Like I said, I think he sounds just fine. So I can tell that some quality control went for this series when it comes to, Sega probably choosing the voice actors. I know this because when Sonic Generations was officially released, I mean the first iteration back in 2010, the pose. Sega actually, Sega of Europe specifically, went on a scrutiny in each European, non-English speaking European country that was going to get a dub, like mine, and specifically selected the voice actors, based on their own criteria on how good for them they sounded. So I'm pretty sure they did something similar with this.
So the original Knuckles is apparently voiced by Adam Narada here, but for all his other dimensional counterparts, he's more so voiced by Vincent Tong for some reason.
Weird.
It's weird because I'm pretty sure everyone else keeps their voice actors.
Oh yeah, Sonic, he has almost killed you multiple times, but calling Tails names, that's just going too far.
Okay, I do kind of like IDW's take where it kind of is rationalized that Sonic and Eggman have kind of like this gentleman's agreement of sorts, like where, yeah, between them, it's just business, but they never want to go too far by involving, other people unnecessarily.
Which is
Otherwise,
why the first
that's
story arc was about
serious.
the metal virus.
Wait, no, that wasn't the first arc. The first arc of IDW was like in the wake of Sonic Forces. Eggman had lost his memory and had become Mr. Tinkerer and
I
all
thought that
that.
the Metal Virus was the first story arc and need overlap with that.
Nope. Oh, no. Well after. Basically, the Sonic IDW run starts in the wake of Sonic Forces, essentially. And it's mostly about them rebuilding after that. Turns out Eggman's alive after the events of Forces, but he's
Obviously.
got amnesia.
They
And
did
actually was a
mention
good guy,
Saigon.
legitimately. Shadow wanted to kill him, but Sonic argued this is an Eggman and he was doing good. Things would have all been well if Starline hadn't come in and jogged Eggman's memory.
Wait, is this how it started? Sonic didn't listen to him that one time?
And yes, Orbot and Kubot are in this one, voiced by Devin Mack. Yes, the MacGuffin of the show is the
Prism.
Paradox Prism. Get it?
They just took a static model of
1992.
Sonic and slide them across the ground.
Also, Tails is having blue reflections on the top of his head. I guess it's supposed to be lighting, but it feels weird. I just wonder what Eggman is up to.
We're just pretend that Sonic Lost World didn't happen.
I mean, okay, I know some things about the ending of Season 3 and how this relates to the games, because, yeah, that was one of the big questions that fan had. Is this an adaptation? Is this a tie-in to the games?
Okay, not for nothing, but isn't one of Eggman's things that helps him stand out from other video game villains is that he always shows up in his mechs, taking the fight to Sonic head on?
Not always. In Sonic Unleashed, he was sometimes sending robots piloting his mechs after Sonic. Specifically the HD version. He actually is always piloting the mechs in the Wii version. Hey, Rouge. Good voice actress. I'm just gonna say this. Yeah, I'm one of the people who doesn't care for the new outfit. I get what they're going for here, but, like, let Rouge be a femme fatale, okay? Thanks. It's not like it's harming kids.
I'm more bothered by the fact that she's fully considered part of a team where her whole shtick is about being still technically a good aligned, but ambiguous enough to potentially work on her own, but still helping on the sideline. You know, kind of like Ala Wong to an extent.
I feel like it works better when she's with Team Dark. I don't get this insistence on trying to make her part of the main team.
Like, just
I'd
have
sooner
Blaze
see.
if you want a female character like that for feeding the role.
Although it is kind of lampshaded that Blaze has that whole dimensional thing, so it's kind of funny to imagine.
Except, you know what? You could just do it here. We did a fresh new start to the character.
Which, that would be funny. That would be like Blaze's third or fourth attempt at a reboot, essentially. Because remember, Sonic 06 tried to have Blaze be a traveler from Sonic's future before that got changed back to dimensional counterparts and all that.
Also, I noticed a couple of but names that Eggman has been calling Sonic in this are directed quotes from the insults that Robotnik used in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, yeah, that's one thing about Prime. It's definitely a big love letter to all the lore bits and bobs on the Sonic franchise. It came around a time where the powers that be really wanted to emphasize that Sonic was going to pay more mind to continuity, which led them to announce that, yes, Sonic Prime is canon, which led to the confusion. But yeah, basically, like I mentioned, Eggman's after the Paradox Prism, the latest artifact of ultimate power.
How many fucking magical rocks knots are in this world? Like at the very
bullshit, as they
at the
call
very
it.
least, the Chaos Emeralds originated from another and got implanted here. But between like Solaris, the Gaia manuscripts, the Phantom Ruby, and now this. Okay, I forgot. Did Forces explain if the Phantom Ruby just existed? Really, Sonic. Or
Wait, did you mention the time stones?
Is that the
yeah,
new
that
tradition?
too. Okay, were the time stones connected to Little Planet? Because in that case, we can just say, or
I think they were.
arrived with Little
Yes.
Planet attached to. But my point is, like, I forgot. Was the Phantom Ruby artificially made by Eggman, or it was something that just also existed and got discovered?
It was an artifact that Eggman found and modified, basically. As
Okay.
we see that it's shared between both. Well, okay, now it's okay. At first, it was supposed to establish that classic Sonic and modern Sonic were different dimensions since the Phantom Ruby was shared between them. Now that's been retconned to just it was
Past and
traveling across
future.
time.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
What was the MacGuffin
Ah.
from Lost World?
The
magic conch?
Yeah, the magic conch that... well, to be fair, Lost World was also about an actual, other
Lost
planetoid.
text, yeah.
So, I'm willing to cut it a bit of a slack. Like, I'm talking about specifically the main planet.
Okay, yeah, a ton of stuff. Don't forget Perfect Chaos, technically inside the Master Emerald, but that was still a factor, essentially, with a
Yeah, that was just more
mystical
of a
entity god.
chubby mutated by the Master Emerald.
Yes, but he did have all basically the ruins dedicated to him, the fact that he came from a society tethered to it.
Oh no.
You just had to say it.
You know what? Again, Sonic deserves this kind of, karmic punishment for underestimating.
Yeah, it's like, that
Yeah,
baby's gonna kick your ass.
Again, Sonic's having a bit of a rough day because his shoes have been acting very wonky.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Is this a secret commercial? Hey kids, do you want to have better shoes than Sonic? Pay up.
Be careful, Sonic. If your shoes get wrecked, fans will finally see the forbidden feet pics.
I love that Sonic in this episode alone is slamming onto walls constantly.
It's
Jesus.
It's Eggman as a baby.
Didn't we already do
Hedgehog
this?
versus coughing baby.
Also, Tio, you know what the show means, right? It establishes that the Paradox Prism was hidden inside the mountains of Green Hill all along. So if you're playing Sonic 1, just know there's a terrible entity of power lying beneath the earth as you're battling Eggman.
Sure. Wasn't there an episode of Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog about as Robotnik being turned into a baby because it was the 90s and every single animated show wanted to do that?
Possibly. That show did almost anything it could with how crazy it was.
all right. Come on, let's pull him out the pipe again. For the last time, you're not Super Mario.
That show gave Eggman a stalker.
Yeah, so here's Vincent Tong. Like, I'm wondering, why didn't you just have Vincent Tong playing Knuckles the whole time?
Also, commando outfits for Knuckles and Rouge. That feels so fucking weird. Also, if I understand correctly, most of these alternative forms of the characters conveniently made their way also to Sonic Forces Battle, the mobile game. Yes, it's still going.
Sonic Forces Battle has been one of Sega's most successful bouts here, which you gotta love.
Since play it once every few months, like for
you gotta love it because it's tied to Sonic Forces. And I'm speaking as somebody who actually likes Sonic Forces. It's kind of hilarious. He's gone.
How could this be?
Tails
Batman?
never. What if Tails never existed?
That would
Sonic, the accident was 5 years ago. You have to let Tails go now.
Then how is
Sometimes I
Sonic?
can still hear his voice.
Chill it out.
Oh, but the password's still the same. That being said, how's Sonic been flying the plane without Tails then if Tails was never there?
I mean, the tornado was his property to begin with. You kind of have to assume that he was able to do it.
It was flying itself.
No. What I mean is, like, he's usually hanging on the back of the Tails on the plane wing. How's he flying it from there?
And yeah, this is the kind of multidimensional story where it takes kind of a while for the hero to understand, where the predicament is in.
Doc.
Me, quite possibly the most popular character to come out of Sonic Prime. 9. And Evil Tails, who actually can put up a damn good fight since he's got way more tails.
And kind of the attitude to go with it.
Get it? 9 tails. He's a kitsune.
Somehow I don't think this is as mischievous,
Yeah, I
rather
don't think
just omnicidal.
You can't call him 9 Tails because then the Pokemon Company would get angry.
You will be surprised, Lives, because that's the name that they went through one of the major villains for Okami back on the PS2 Wii era. So...
Also, Dwibs, Ace Attorney literally has a name 9 Tails Veil in Dual Destinies.
Maybe it's tied if there is a space between 9 and Tails. I don't know.
And yeah, this is a pretty good fight scene, not gonna lie.
Maybe the Pokemon Company can't get like full copyright on it because it is like mythology that's used on
Imagine
history of life.
Imagine trying to copyright a whole mythology. But yeah, no, I love that line. I was trained by the misery of life. Edgy Rainbow Dash there for you, Shiroi, since that's actually Ball.
Oh, I have seen plenty of like Rainbow Factory. Like I've seen Edgy Rainbow Dash.
Oh yeah, Rainbow Factory. Jesus Christ! I think all the main 6 have at least some edgy story dedicated to them.
What was that MLP parody web series that had Igor Raptor and Kira Baklan in it?
Oh, is that the Dot Mov series?
I think that's the one.
Oh, Dot Mov! Jesus, that was crazy.
The one that had Pinkie Pie as a recovering drug addict?
I think so.
Yes.
To answer what you were saying before, well, remember again, this was okay. This is Netflix, so if I recall correctly, the episodes were released in bulk. But this was, supposed to be still the pilot, so to engage people, in how would they actually, want to see it. Also
right.
Cute 16-bit. They did something similar to that in Mega Man Fully Charged, by the way. So this is Man of Action, just recycling some ideas.
If I recall correctly, it's done better here, but it's still a bit weird. Like, okay, half the time they're doing the 16-bit stuff, but other times they will take some actual graphics from some of the GBA games. So one wonders, why didn't you just do that from the get-go? Wow. Tio, it appears your boy Shadow is possessing Tails now.
And actual character improvement. What a coincidence.
Leave. Like, everyone's mean to Tails.
No matter the continuity, because that was the shit that was happening since Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Everyone was bullying Tails because he was a child. Like,
apparently this was something that was in the lore of Sonic the Hedgehog. It just took until Sonic Origins for us to actually get to see it portrayed in Sonic 2. But yeah, apparently Tails was made fun of for his twin tails.
I don't know if it's like in the Japanese manual or whatever, but
I don't even know this planet's called Mobius. It might be Mobius.
Bomius.
Okay, I hate to say it to you, sometimes a lot of Mobians can be assholes.
It's like Doctor Who and the Time Lords.
I mean, Sonic's an asshole.
So, yes, it turns out this place is ruled by the Chaos Council. And run by a man named Mr. Eggman instead of Dr. Eggman.
I guess he never graduated in this.
That sounds like a bit of a downgrade. What about Professor Eggman? Or Emperor Eggman? Jesus
It's
Christ.
Tails with a gun.
I mean,
Nah, don't worry. He's
kid
just scanning him.
this kid has been using bombs in the past. This is nothing new.
Oh yeah, like look. Tails didn't even have to be evil for what he did to the battle cuckoos.
They woke him up. They had to die.
Jesus.
True, that is very true.
They did also set the forest on fire, but that's the whole thing.
So it seems that I guess because Sonic remained intact after the whole prism shattering, it seems that he has some excess energy, which translates to a different design for each universe he will go to, essentially.
I think that particular symbol is in the series logo, if I recall correctly.
My God, he's got the soap shoes.
What are those? Yeah, there you go. God damn it,
God damn
Sonic.
it.
Now I have to beat you up.
Also, as you can imagine, yes, they did make action figures for these shows, which are beloved because...
where the real money from the show is made.
And apparently they took a lot of care to them because a lot of the figures have tons of points of articulation, especially ones of 9s. Given all the different tails and whatnot.
I mean, I can imagine it's not as much as an android, but I can see what you mean. These are about characters that are supposed to actually perform particular actions.
Oh yeah, like the posability with the action figures is actually pretty great by action figure standards.
You're an idiot.
What else is new?
The baby. I hear its cries in the winds,
shut
and
up,
knowing that I
Samus.
failed it.
Yeah, Blue Streak, get it? Because that was the first part of the lyrics in Sonic Sat AM.
I saw the reference and I clapped.
Yeah, here, have a clap.
So time to see who our mysterious benefactors are.
Okay, to be fair, it's not like this so far. It's not like this show's just been like a reference every 5 seconds or anything.
No. Like, I'd say for the most part, they handle them with moderation.
That is not my name.
Roboticized Amy.
Damn, I know people have said Amy's character lately has been a bit robotic, but this is ridiculous.
The Haunt Inquirer assumes that this means danger.
Obviously.
So one's old. One is a hipster.
I was about to say.
One's a 2010s teenager.
Well, we already saw this one.
Yeah, one's a baby. We've already seen that.
The most intimidating of them all.
And the
Oh
other one
God,
is...
he has hair!
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the other one has a lot of hair. Jesus. I mean, they all have hair, to be fair.
Yeah, this was actually another promotional material, so this was not too much of a surprise. And I know that this was quite a bit divisive, actually. Because a lot of people
Okay,
did not
old
took a liking
Eggman
to these
doesn't.
people.
No.
You deserve the migraine, Sonic.
I will project my migraines onto him.
Ow, ow.
That's elder abuse.
Sonic!
I agree.
I'm a hedgehog!
No one gets it right, Louisa.
Last person who kept getting it wrong, I put him in a lamp.
Oh yeah, like when you gave him COVID.
What?
That was
What?
a reference to a skit from Jet.
Jet, yes, I remember that.
It was when Jet was sick from COVID.
Oh, bad.
Oh my god, there's the first test dubstep.
Whoop whoop. You know?
What if his tail's making them?
You turned into a laser in Sonic Colors, though.
Hey, I never said I liked it.
What? Was turning into a laser the greatest torment you suffered on Planet Wisp?
Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Honestly, I thought the greatest torment was falling, hitting the ground face first several times.
You've fallen face down on Earth after falling from space. That has to hurt.
Yeah, I nearly died while suffocating in space. I wasn't supersonic at that point.
Although, I just want to say this. Shadow loses his memory after falling to Earth while in super form. Sonic, not even in super form, falls to Earth face first is just fine. I think the ultimate life form has a skill issue there.
I mean,
either that or Gerald really didn't make his cranium very well.
Also, can't lose much of what you don't have, Java. Yeah, he's Broly, his power is maximum.
The Blue Badger? Oh snap, this is an Ace Attorney crossover?
Clearly.
Also, a little Sonic Adventure throwback.
Oh, she's actually
remember how she
powered
was
up by a Fleeky.
Yeah, remember how she was trying to save a Flicky in Sonic Adventure? Yeah, this version is literally powered by a Flicky, who's still alive in there.
Weird, because Sonic noticed that most of the other, pawns were not powered up by Fleekies.
Well, I think that's due to the nature of how roboticization works in this world, essentially. That or the Eggmen did it just to be cruel.
So yeah, I guess that raises a good question. If this is supposed to be an alternate dimension anyway, and everyone is a counterpart, why is there no counterpart of Sonic?
That's a good question.
That's a
He's
good
Perhaps
dead.
there's a
question.
mystery to it.
And then there's All Sonic. He's dead.
Sonic died on the way back to his home dimension.
Sonic
Oh, hey,
is-
Shadow.
I'm just here for the paycheck, don't worry.
It's broken. Okay. Saying it's broken one episode in, that's a bit harsh.
All right, yeah, there's this kind of forced more about Sonic needing to learn to work together or some jazz like that.
Funny, considering this came out around the same time of Frontiers, where the message at the end was that Sonic Team could, stay close to each other without being a team anymore. Or at least
So-
that's the way I interpret it, because the way the game words it is not something that I particularly like.
Okay, I'll just say this. It was wonky in Sonic Lost World as well when they tried to force Sonic to learn a lesson here. I feel like, well, yes, Sonic is somebody who can use a lesson in humility every now and then. I think he's a guy who gets teamwork, since one of his most recognized catchphrases is the super power of teamwork.
Well, I don't
Just
remember
saying.
Knuckles and Tails turning into super form for the final fight, Jova.
Well, what are you talking about? They have the golden orbs of energy around them. They're totally
Yeah, hype
super.
moments and
Yeah,
aura.
I
That's
mean-
all they had.
Why did Knuckles be okay? Tails I get, but why not Knuckles?
No. Even Tails is a super form. Remember the one
Yeah,
with
but
all
yeah,
the
you can only be
flippies?
Super Tails with the Hyper Emeralds, I think.
I'm pretty sure he can turn super even with the Chaos
Again, the
Emeralds,
stipulation of the
but I
super form are
digress.
bullshit. This is why I'm partially predicting that for the fourth movie, that's gonna be the introduction of a super form for Amy, just as a shock for the audience. Because if you want to have
There
the
he-
rule, if you want to have the rule of only hedgehogs can hi.
And that's the end of the episode. Sonic
Sick.
gets whacked by Shadow.
Shadow,
I'm
there you go,
completely sold
Tio. Your
already.
boy. Yeah, of course. Yes, your boy whacks to my boy in the face. Instant cell.
I mean, I guess that's
So,
one
yes.
way to hook you up
Yeah.
for the next
Andrews and
episode.
Shields earlier, they did the music for the episode as well as the theme song.
So yeah,
Again.
that was the first episode of Sonic Prime. Like, all wonkiness aside, I think it's a good start. It introduces a pretty good voice cast, an interesting premise, and again, it already gives you a good idea of what you're in for. Clearly different takes on characters that are different, like a Tails that's more moody and surly, an Amy who is no longer joyful and compassionate, and ironically, a world where Rouge and Knuckles are the most virtuous of the characters here and there.
Weird.
And again, that's just the start. What did you guys think of this?
It's okay, I guess.
It's not probably to me the biggest, hook you up in kind of pilot, but it's solid enough on its own for what it's worth. I can easily tell that if you're a fan of Sonic, this is definitely something that you will be enjoying it to an extent. Like I said, I know that the Chaos Council of Eggman variants was not particularly well received, and I don't know if it's something that persisted throughout the show's length or it was just towards the marketing, basically.
Again, I recall them being relatively fun, but again, it's been ages since I really dabbled with the show or how the fan base regarded it, so I guess I'll just wait and see how they turn out. Sure, your thoughts on this starter episode?
Fine. Like, decent introduction. Not much to say about it for that. I really like the
Alright.
character, this one.
Mm-hmm. All right, then. Well, in that case, we'll tune in next day to catch up with you. Sonic Prime Episode 2, The Yoke's on You.
Ah,
See ya.
Puns of Glory. Sans was a guest writer.
See ya.
see ya.
Yeah.